Hey friends, we are wrapping up our sessions on listening, how to become a better listener. Listening is so foundational if you want to have a good relationship. And a lot of times we think we're a good listener until we're not. This is the case for me in my relationship. And I think I'm being a good listener, and then I'm hearing, no, I'm not listening. Or maybe you just have never paused to realize how much listening is fundamental to having a good relationship. If you think about it, it's kind of that invisible reality that's going to affect everything, whether you like it or not. Today, I'm going to talk about how listening is woven into the origins of offense. And when we have conversations, that is actually when we cross into boundary lines and we offend without realizing it. Now, some offense is imaginary in people's minds from past wounds, and they project it on others. That's a whole other story. But if offense, the origins of offense can be traced back to when we're listening or not listening. And I'm going to read today in Sacred Spaces. Again, I am just someone, not a counselor, just trying to pursue Christ and understand relationship harmony in the intricacies of everyday life. And I'm reading from Sacred Spaces. This is a book I spent a long time writing, and I just hope it's a treasure to you. I hope that you can glean from it when you're trying to navigate relationships. And it talks about the sacred space of listening and words and thoughts and joy and so much more. So I'll link that below. So listening, let's talk about offense. So much offense can occur when we are not actively engaging in the listening process. So if you think about it, if you're tuning out in a conversation and you're just rolling right along and you're saying your piece of your heart, and you may not even realize what's going on in the other person. Maybe they're exhausted and you just keep rattling on, and you may not even realize that you've trespassed against another. So it is easy for us to cross a state boundary line. Okay, think about this. And comprehend the terrain change by the large sign that says welcome. So let's say you are traveling, you're going on a beach trip, and you cross the state line, let's say into Florida, and it says welcome to Florida, right? And there is a boundary line change. So similarly, in our relationships, in our conversations, when we offend another, we cross the boundary line. We cross boundary lines all the time, and we don't even realize that other person is in the state of offense, and you are still in the state of oblivion, okay? That is when confusion and offense come in. And we want to be very, very mindful of this in our conversations. So much offense can occur when we are not actively engaging in that listening process. It is much more difficult for us to grasp the moment we have crossed that invisible line while we are engaged in conversation. Although it is possible, if you are actively tuning into the Holy Spirit, if you have received the Spirit of Christ and you are in a conversation, you can actually, even if you have not received the Holy Spirit, you can even observe body language. You can see where someone is, their face is glazed over, or they may all of a sudden tense up. And that helps us to discern, okay, this person is offended. So at that point, what you want to do is we want to have purpose-propelled relationships. We want our relationships to be purpose-propelled into not a place of a fake peace, but in a place of harmony where there's a spirit of understanding. I did a video on how disagreement is good, because to have real peace, there may be real disagreements, but in real disagreements, there's no longer that suppression of frustration, but there is that release of the spirit of understanding. And so, yes, so, try it out in your conversation, just to be aware how offense can come in, how you can cross that state line. And if you keep plowing through in a conversation, then that's not going to be good in your relationship, because that's where offense can reign. And we want to clear up offense before it gets worse, before it turns into strife or division or misunderstanding. So always be mindful to slow down in your conversations, have that active listening from your heart, not just your head, so that when you do speak, you can understand where you might be offending another or where another might be offending you, to where we can really unearth some of those roots, those underground roots of offense, the origins of offense, can really be unearthed as we listen mindfully to each other. So I hope there's so much more. I'm wrapping up the series now. Obviously, I'm very reflective. Some people don't get this deep in reflection. This is just part of my gift to you, and I just hope that that it's helping to enrich your relationships, because I know that these principles, when you apply it and when you activate it in your life, you'll start to see real growth and strengthening in your relationships. So thank you. You are a bright spot in my life, and I hope you have the best day.